that I have a doctor in training and I have a barrister, you have a whole lot of role to play when it comes to leadership, governance, politics, and all of that. So, and of course, we are now in the era where you are not restricted to just remain in the confinement of medical world. We now have medical doctors who are, coming up to the secular political sphere, taking up position, medical doctors becoming governors and all that. So leadership is not just restricted to their spheres of influence now. So I'm glad to have these two with me. My name is Charles, or you just simply say Saintcharles, Charles Emmanuel, and this is Joel Joseph, who is a 600 level student, medicine and surgery, University of Jos, and I also have a very good friend of mine here who is a lawyer, Joshua Hamza.
You have to put the name complete. Exactly.
There's Moneno,
Joel Joseph.
So the identity of the man is his name.
True. So that's why. So most times I always believe that no one can introduce you better than you introduce yourself.
Yes.
So you better say it the way you want it to be said. If not, if you don't know your identity, people will give you different identity.
I tell you.
All right. So why having a chat with you? Not really a chat. Why having you on set? You said a lot of things, and some things actually popped up. So I said let's discuss it. Though we have about 5 minutes to run this. So you talked about parental upbringing. Most times while on radio, I did radio for 5 years before leaving radio for other deeper aspect of media, because when I realized that media can break a nation or build a nation, and I realized how powerful media can be. If they want to kill you, the instrumentality of media is just at their tip of they can just use it, and so I realized how we can utilize media. So I left radio, because most people talk on radio today rant and put all different kind of comment, and they really do not understand how things work. I don't stand to be corrected. I know what I'm talking about because I've been there. So I realized the effect of parenting when it comes to purpose, career, and all that. But we've not really done well when it comes to leadership and politics, because you talked about something that how your parents shunned you from participating on anything that has to do with politics. So how were you able to break through from that ideology? Because it sank into you, it became you. How were you able to break out of that parental ideology that was passed into when it comes to politics? I believe they told you politics is a bad game, right?
Yes.
So how were you able to break that ribbon?
I think one of the things that helped me was understanding. As a person, if you have not experienced something and you're being told, you basically work with what you're being told, and basically life is empirical. Yes, you would have to experience something before you understand it. So I think coming to school and trying to let me find out why these people, what is the reason why these people don't want me to engage in politics, what is in the politics. I said it's just curiosity. Let me find out what really happens. Let me find out how these things work. And when I did my own findings, I understood that it is just a misconception that our parents have. Most times they work with what they are being told. But when I came, I noticed that you are able to do this thing and you can study your books at the same time. But I need to say that I'm not bragging. I graduated with a 2-1. A perfect 2-1. Still with the politics. So it is very possible for a person to mix politics and education perfectly. You just have to find a balance. Yes.
Like I told you on this channel, we won't just bring any kind of individuals on this platform. And you've heard him now directly from him. He didn't just participate in the politics and then ended up a nobody when it comes to academics. And so if you are listening to me out there, you are a parent or you're a student or you are anybody, just make sure that it is possible. Because if you fold your hands, you do nothing, you are a bad person.
Exactly.
You need to get involved.
Yeah.
So let me turn to Doctor. How were you able? Did you have any parental upbringing politically that had led to your political consciousness today? And how were you able to, cultivate the consciousness of your leadership and politics today?
Okay. I would say luckily for me.
Okay.
Yes, I didn't really have that opposition, so to say.
Okay.
To getting involved in politics, and I think partly the reason is because, like I shared earlier.
Okay.
I've been privileged to hold various positions from my primary school level down to secondary school, even as the FCS president then, like I said. I remember during our graduation at school, the FCS graduation, my family was there.
Oh wow.
So they could actually relate to the fact that, oh, this person was actually doing well in this leadership sphere. So when I came up with when I told them, oh, I'm actually actively involved in politics currently, student unionism, they weren't
surprised.
Yeah, they weren't surprised actually, and then they've actually supported me in that regard. And then my parents were very crucial actually to my political journey, so to say.
Okay.
I feel like they trusted me early enough.
Okay.
Yes, in the sense that like I shared earlier too, I had the opportunity to associate with people older than me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
By engaging in certain programs and events, then mostly religious, but the fact that they were allowing me to be involved in these things, kind of like built that trust, and it helped me know that, oh yes, I have the support of my family. So it was crucial.
Wow. It is almost opposite each other because
very
opposite. But however, it's just to tell you that whichever side you find yourself, you have no reason to be sedative, you have no reason to be immobile, you have no reason to fold your hands. You can't be neutral when it comes to the development of this nation. So you need to wake up today, like I told us earlier on. You need to just get involved. You need to get involved. So secondly, I understand very well that you are not from Plateau State.
Yes.
And there is this dilemma or disease called agenda, Plateau agenda, for example. I believe there might be Ebonyi agenda, Enugu agenda. So I'm not trying to be biased now. You understand?
Yeah.
I believe there might be. Do you understand? So how are you able to penetrate through, and because LSS in the University of Jos is, I'm not saying other positions are not crucial, but LSS president is not just any kind of, And so how were you able to do it? Because somebody out there might be saying that, okay, I want to do something, but I am not from this state. How are you able to penetrate and get to that?
This is also almost always a very controversial issue every time there is an election in University of Jos. It's something that people don't really talk about, but it's something that exists, It's just a concept of frail-minded people who have a feeling of entitlement. Because let me tell you, the people of Plateau State are quite, hospitable. They are welcoming. But we just there are a few bad bunch who, are always, wanting to stand in the way of progress. And when I was contesting, I had serious opposition, which I understood was out of basically an ideology of some set of people. And one thing I've always been a champion for is the fact that when it comes to leadership positions, you pick out a person, not a party. I'm talking of broader politics. The concept of picking out a person, not on tribal basis, not on religious lines, but on the lines that the person is credible and is able to undertake the task. And that is what, in fact, I sold my ideology, in plain paper. Everybody could see. And one thing is, an ideology is a seed that if you plant in a person's heart, it germinates over time.
The angle I'm trying to shed more light on is relationship, actually. There's this thing with relationships that sometimes it breaks the barriers of tribal, religion, and even ethnic sentiments. Still, as the Bible will say that there's a friend that's stickered closer than a brother. So relationships too in politics, for me, has been able to help me break some of these barriers, in the sense that the relationship I've built with people across board, it's actually winning the war for me over sentiment. And again, the message I've been preaching is that there's nothing that unites people more than a common goal.
A common goal.
Yes. If there is a clearly defined goal, that this is where we want to be as an association, that goal, once it resonates in the heart of people, is going to unite them beyond whatever sentiments that they might have. So that's why I say it still goes down to the ideology. As an aspirant, how well are you able to communicate that goal to the people to resonate in their mind? Because a common goal unites people.
Of course.
Case in view is like the NSAS protest.
Of course.
Yes, you see youths for the first time in a long time, Nigerian youth were strongly united for a common cause, irrespective of tribe, religion, or ethnicity.
Wow, I think we are still riding on the wave of ideology. That ideology matters. The ideology. So now we've been talking about our sphere, where we've led and where we are leading. Can we now bring it up to Nigeria? In 30 seconds, sir, what do you think of Nigeria governance leadership currently, based on your own perspective? If you are the president, or if you are aspiring for to be the president?
I would say that the leadership situation in this country is appalling, because I'm speaking the minds of all Nigerians when I said this was not what we expected it to be. This government has really failed when it comes to giving the promises that they give, or implementing the promises that they give. You find out that the leadership situation is basically kakistocracy. It's not based on merit. There is nothing that is based on merit. We have people occupying positions that don't deserve to be there. We have leaders who embezzle funds. So it's just a circus. It's just a circus. And
so what would you have done differently?
Look, one thing about this country is there needs to be a paradigm shift. We'd have to find somebody that would show us that these things can be done.
So how can we find that very person?
Yes, see, one thing that I would always say is every 4 years, the situation presents people. Yes, we have candidates, and let me tell you, beyond it, even as we speak now, many Nigerians know the person that will salvage this country. They know the person that will be able to move this country to the next level. We know the person that will move this country up economically. We know the person that will unite this country. But you know what happens? We always choose personal interest and self-aggrandizement against national interest. is always the North or
The South.
the party or just the contract. Yes, the religion. So it's on the lines of that. It's on the lines of that until we become neutral.
Okay.
And look inwards.
Okay.
To the person that will salvage us. We are going to go through the same vicious cycles for the next 8 years.
Okay, without any fear or favor, prejudice or sentiment, let me throw it to you directly. Who do you think? I know you are not a prophet, but who do you think presently now will be the president of Nigeria? And you know we will make things better if you, in your own thinking.
Let me tell you the truth. It does not matter at this point. I have a few candidates that have declared.
Okay.
And one thing is, I know people are still declaring.
Okay.
People are still declaring. But if I say I know the person now, I've lied to you, because let me tell you, even if I know the person, we have not even done primaries yet.
Okay.
That's one thing you have to put in mind.
Oh yes.
But look, we read their manifestos. We see their track records.
Okay.
I want to be partisan here because I'm on TV.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think it will be a form of campaigning, but we all know the person who has the credential and the portfolio to lead this country, and we have a few. I don't want to.
No, that's what I cleared it earlier on.
Exactly.
Let's be open.
Yes, we're very open, but you see, when I look at the portfolio of people like Professor Yemi Osibanjo,
Okay.
people like Peter Obi,
Okay.
people like Kingsley Moghalu,
Okay.
which other one? I think those are the ones that I really pay attention, because they actually say things that they actually want to do.
Right?
Exactly.
Good.
So these are the people. These are bright minds, young people. When you look at, for example, you could see, if you read what Peter Obi did in Anambra, and before how he changed Anambra and improved the economy. This is somebody that that economically he is our savior. But are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready to put our religious lines?
Okay.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Charles.
Okay.
In this country, there are people that can do better, but they are not even in the limelight because they don't have the money to do so.
Okay.
Do you believe?
I believe so.
Do you
because
believe?
The best player may not be C. Ronaldo.
Exactly, because politics in Nigeria is actually a game.
Yeah, because some of them are not actually involved.
Exactly. We have people, but it's just that politics now in this country is a sport. So if you are not a team member, you don't even have the chance to field.
Guess what? I was thinking about Nigeria of recent, and I realized that Nigeria has, in one way or the other, we have narrowed down to two-party system.
Yes, technically, it's always a two-party system.
I think it's a good thing for us. I don't know about you, but it's a good thing for us. For me, if I'm to speak, I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah,
I don't think it's really.
It's a good thing if, to say, those two parties have distinct ideologies.
Yes. Okay.
But what we have now, the reality that we have on ground is that we just have people shifting grounds.
Okay.
They shift based on what they think favors them or
True.
what the ruling party.
True.
So, two political party system is not, or it will not be clearly defined as we have in developed democracy.
Yeah, I think it will also obstruct the concept of inclusion.
Okay.
Yes, because I feel it should be open for everybody to get a representative. When you bring it down to a two-party system, you find out that it's not about winning.
Okay.
It is what? Representation. It's about representation. So you find out a political party might not win the election, but you find out that they have represented the aggregate issues and minds of people. So when you narrow it down to BDP, you'll find out that the cycle will be Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo. So it's about protecting minorities too.
Yeah.
So I think it should be open. Although we have the other political parties just look like jokers.
It should be
It doesn't look like
that.
Yeah,
I like the fact that it has been tailored down.
Okay.
Before, I think, was it 2019? That was like just after the last election.
Yeah.
We had close to like 80 something, close to 90 political parties, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
90 political
But
parties.
after the election, that 2019 election, the INEC
And it cut
cut
them
down like 74 or thereabout.
Yes.
So currently we have just like 18
Yes.
registered political parties. Yes, so in as much as we want people to be represented, because there are actually a lot of ideologies, yes, in politics. But then it's better that, because there are some parties that are just there, they're like bargaining chips. They're just trying to
True.
make a
We
lot
have
of
them.
noise so that
We have them. A group of friends will just gather, and then they will just print the poster, governor, deputy.
Yeah,
So
to create a
so they'll call them.
Invited
Oh my goodness. Well, it's a like I've always said, the issue of Nigerian leadership governance cannot be overemphasized. But what we are just trying to do is to let you know that if you keep sitting down there, people that are not worthy will rule and lead you and make policies. I mean, I was saying something earlier on that. The reason why, have you realized that political science professionals, academically, I've never ascended any political leadership in it. So it's not about learning all those theories and, you know, so you need to get down and be involved, get involved. I showed us earlier on my PVC. So we need to get involved. So we are advocating that you stand up there, get down to any INEC office and get your PVC. So this is how much we will take on this channel for this session, and I hope you wouldn't want to miss the next sessions we're going to be having with, of course, Juggernauts in their various